Kids asleep. Sharks awake. Trade daddies on the mic. Let's work. Let's work. Rent your hand by daylight, grease on the sleeves. Nightfall, switch lanes, candles and degrees. Blue collar mornings, markets after dark. Teaching wealth in the shadows, lighting up the charts. From the shop to the screens, breaking cycles, no cap. Turn patience into profit, show the roadmap. Education first, yeah, the mission stay clean. Built on discipline, modern Canadian dream.
Daddy time, late night grind. Shots glow while the world unwinds. Trade daddies, yeah, we break it down. From higher highs to support and bounce.
OG in the game, seen bubbles and pain. Hands wrapped tight, both gloves and gains. From the ring to the feeds, pressure don't shake. Market swings heavy, steady moves get made. W3BC built, yeah, the vision clear. Teach and entertain, make the lesson hit here. Punchlines land like a clean left hook. Market speak when a trader looks. After bedtime, headphones on, screens glow bright. Risk defined, patient tested every night. No hype trades, only structure and plans. Read the flow, understand supply and demand. Not promises made, just skills passed down. So the next generation builds solid ground. From dads to traders, lessons stay true. Knowledge is power, now pass it through.
Who runs the charge?
Trade daddies,
Who breaks it down?
trade daddies.
Risk, reward, discipline.
Let's get it.
Who runs the charge?
Trade daddies,
Who breaks it down?
trade daddies.
Risk, reward, discipline.
Let's get it.
Daddy time, late night grind. Real talk for the trading mind. Trade daddies after dark. Read the market, play it smart.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get
Trade Daddies.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Trade Daddies. We are back after you've been gone for 2 weeks. I've been here.
2 weeks. Jeez Louise, man. I feel like I lived an entire lifespan in what seems like over the last month. What a little trip. I tell you what, glad to be home though. But what is up, my dude? How you been?
I've been good, man. Just trucking along, doing the same thing. Honestly, showing the same things that we've been talking about. Like nothing really changed until today. Like we've been talking about this for weeks, and it's really just kind of status quo, talking about the same things, going over the same things, and then today it happened, and it happened off a daily head and shoulders pattern that ended up playing out. Target was 57K. We hit 58 something, so pretty close. Like in trading, guys, don't ever expect it to go to your target. It never does. Or sometimes it does. I shouldn't say that. It doesn't never do it, but most of the time it doesn't. I always sell early because I've been burned more often than not with that greed, trying to get that little bit extra to that target. But you know what? I've learned to be okay with like today, like my target was 50K. I sold a trade at $400. I was supposed to make like $3,900 on this trade, but I'm like, screw it. You know what? That's guaranteed money. I'm taking it. And you know what? I'll wait for consolidation. And I'll get back in again.
That's like the name of the game. That's like what I've been to. How's the mic, by the way? Can you hear me all right?
You sound beautiful, my friend.
Yes, love that. That was kind of like the name of the game today. Was just hustling in and out of these trades. Not staying up too long. Now, I said to you before we went on the air, like there was like this in the back of my mind. I wish that I had stayed in my trade the entire day versus, scalp 4 or 5 times, whatever I did. But at the end of the day, profit's profit. You take it, you run. We live to fight another day. We keep going. And I'll tell you what, man, it's been a good trading environment. It's good to be back home. It's good to be back at like the battle station. Like, dude, I couldn't do it like on a phone. Like, that's insane. And then when I had just the laptop, just the one screen, when you got multiple screens, dude, it is impossible to do the job on one screen. It's impossible.
It's funny because like I remember like, you know, like 10, 15 years ago, everybody had one monitor. It's like I got three now. Like I don't even think I can ever go back to two because I have three now. Like I got one thing going on here. I'm trading. I'm looking at, even when I'm on my computer doing anything else, I have Trading View open. I'm looking at the charts. I got my trading platform open, another one. And I'm like, if I'm, you know, playing a game on the computer or watching something on Netflix, I'm always doing multiple things at the same time. I don't know how to do less.
That's funny. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. And it's been interesting to be back. You know how like you were working on an indicator thing? I've been working on one too. I've gotten my indicator to basically be like the AI brain for what I like, just tells me what to kind of like what you should be looking at. Like, like if you're gonna short, like we're getting close to triggering off here. It's been really cool. I'm really excited to share this with everybody soon. I feel like we're in a place where I'm going to share this pretty soon. But it's just been the different screens, man, to have this back and to be able to like even do like multiple screens of charts. It's just woo.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I'm only been sticking to Bitcoin, so that at least I'm only looking at one chart. But honestly, whatever Bitcoin's going to do, your altcoin's going to do too. Like for example, like today, if I took the short for Bitcoin, I would have easily taken the short for Ethereum too. Why not? Right? Because you don't know where the target could have been, but like if Bitcoin's going down, you think Ethereum's going to hold up? No, it's going to go down with it. Right?
You think that's going to be the case forever, though? Like I feel like that's been the age-old argument is the decoupling. When's it going to happen? And I feel like, you know, the closer we get to solving this tokenization thesis, at that point, like I think that will trigger the moment. I feel like in my heart, that's what do you think?
I don't think there is a decoupling. I just think there's more money in Bitcoin. I think there'll always be more money in Bitcoin. It's like gold, right? And Ethereum is not you can't be like comparing them. Like it's like the Messi and Ronaldo debate. Two totally different positions, two totally different players. You can't compare. They're very different. But it's like you have Ethereum, which is like the infrastructure layer, and everything's built on Ethereum. I look at Ethereum like the App Store. Like people use the App Store, build their apps, and you can download them from there. That's kind of what Ethereum is. It's infrastructure. It's the piping for the network of moving money across, or using money, digital currency across multiple different platforms. Where Bitcoin is, in my eyes, still is that store of value. I don't see Bitcoin as money, like medium of exchange. Like it can be, but like the still you got that 10-minute block time, so it's not a quick transaction. If you want a medium of exchange, it needs to be able to move from me to you really, really fast. That's where stablecoins come in. And that's and stablecoins and DeFi still live on Ethereum in a big way. So I don't see the decoupling happening just because they are two different things and have two totally different use cases. But I think people will always store their energy in something that's more of a store of value, like gold and Bitcoin, right? Versus an infrastructure layer.
We'll see, sir. We will see. I'll bet there'll be at some point. I just, it's like for me, it's not like the industry itself has become larger than what Bitcoin is. Like I know Bitcoin's the king; it is the most important. But it's almost like the industry that is blockchain, the ability for that to become global finance. There's not quadrillions. I mean, yet worth of Bitcoin potentially. Like if the price goes high enough, So I just feel like they're two separate. Yes, they are two separate entities. But the business of blockchain, the industry, the financial ecosystem, at some point is larger than what Bitcoin represents. I think we'll see how it turns out.
You know what? As you were saying that, I was thinking, the gears were turning. I'm thinking maybe you're right. Maybe there will be more money in Ethereum, not in Ethereum itself, but across the entire network, because you're talking about a whole financial system. And that could be possible when you add it all up. But the only other thing, the caveat to that would be like there's Solana, there's Avalanche, there's other layer ones that are pretty successful for the same reasons.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be like spread across, like all that market cap will be spread across those multiple networks. So I don't know if you have one that just takes it. I think there's going to be a couple, just like you have, Facebook, Google, and whatever, right? You're going to have that kind of dynamic. I just want to shout out the chat. Mike Lowry, what's going on? Howdy, Curtis Gore. I see. So chat on X seems to be off. And you know what? Yesterday I was on the adoption pod and I heard the same bloody thing. So I don't know what's going on with X. Let me pull up, because it should be coming up on StreamYards, but let me pull up the actual X stream and see if I see chat here.
Same. I'm gonna open up mine. I see Carrie in the building. What's up, Carrie?
Yo.
Yeah,
it says that's so weird. So if you go to the chat, it says is not live.
Mine says the same thing.
But like I'm literally watching the stream. Okay, X chat. All right, so this is your what do you call it? Like calling to tell a friend, get them over to the YouTubes. Smash those like buttons.
To the tubes. Get to the tubes.
Are you? Jay Change's YouTube is doing all right. Mine needs help. It's dying. It's really struggling. So, so please hit the like button. I'm kidding.
Mine may be dead too. I just clicked. I've lost 7 subscribers in the last month.
YouTube is rough, man. Like, you know what? The best thing I've noticed is the reels. Like when I cut up the shows and I put the reels out, they do pretty well. But the live streams, really nothing, man. It's not like it used to be. Used to be like they pushed out to everybody. Now it's so awkward. Like you have to use the reels to funnel people into it's the whole thing. And I don't have the time to do it. I really don't. We need to become rich with our trading.
Yes.
And our swing trades, so we can hire somebody else to do that.
I'm in for that. Where do you think Bitcoin's going? Oh man, I feel like I need to get back into a short. Like we're just gonna dump tonight, aren't we?
Let me bring up my screen and we'll take a look. All righty. All right, so let's zoom out and we'll go and we'll start
again. Down, zoom out.
So like we go over every week, we topped out 126K. And we started a downtrend, and Bitcoin on the way up does the same thing. And I noticed something that I want to show you guys. It makes these patterns where it comes down. You have a big leg down, consolidation, bear flag, and another leg down, and then bear flags, and another leg down. This is the one that took a while. We were waiting for quite a bit, and it inevitably did break down. That target of that was, I believe, it was like 47K. So that would be 47K. So we're on our way there. Like it's not going to go down in a straight line instantly. It's going to go down and consolidate. And that's kind of what you saw here. Like so on the weekly, we consolidated again. Now this was quicker. This one took let's see here. This one took 119 days. This one only took to break down. This one only took 21 days. So it's like less than a month.
It was like 50-something days in the one previous, right?
And this one here?
Yeah.
This one was 63 days.
63 days.
So this was definitely the longest. And this looked like it was going to pump up because we had a double bottom and it did pump up, but it just could not get above like 85K, and then down we go. And now, like I've talked about this a lot too, is that weekly 200-day moving average. We are below it. So we have this is the weekly candle. We close a weekly candle below the 200-day moving average on the weekly. If you look at previous bear markets, let me go to my other chart here. If you go to previous bear markets, that's, you can still have some more downside even from there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at. This was my big breakdown. Like everyone was talking about, oh, we've bottomed for this cycle. No, we haven't. I don't think so.
What's the yellow line?
So the yellow line here is the 200-day moving average.
Okay.
This is on the weekly time frame. This is the 2017 bull market. It was 371 days from top to bottom. And then 2021 was 357 days from top to bottom. And then 2025, so far, we're not quite there yet, but 378 days brings you to October 19th. And that's roughly, like, give me, September, October, November, like we'll
Mm-hmm.
probably find a cycle bottom. Probably most likely Q4. July 1st, Q1 starts, right? So a whole another quarter starting. So we'll see what kind of volatility we have. And I know crypto likes to be volatile near the end of the month, which we've kind of been seeing.
Especially over the summer. Do you think we'll see a continued downtrend? I mean, obviously when you're in a downtrend until you're not, and we've been in a first one for a little bit here.
So far, yes. I don't see anything changing yet. But we could find a bottom in June, and July could be a pump. Like if you look at 2021, for example, or sorry, 2022, we came down into June. We found a bottom in June, and then we wicked right back up, and we pumped up in July. Sorry, here it is, August, July. Let me go to monthly candles so it's just easier to see. Yeah, so we came down, we found a bottom in June, and then July was a nice pump. And then we just, from that pump, we continued to just go down the rest of the summer into November, December. We found a cycle bottom, and then we were off to the races. So I don't know if it's not going to be the same. The history always rhymes is never exactly the same. So we could do one of two things. Or do we have a 2017 cycle where we bounce off the weekly 200-day moving average, which is, I don't think so, because we're not bouncing off it right now. Like we're actually below it on the weekly. Where here we bounced off it. We didn't even really go below it on 2017. We just touched it and continued up, and that was it. That was your cycle bottom until COVID. Like we had another bottom, but it was a higher low, on the macro scale of things, right? I still think I think we're gonna have more downside. I think it's gonna be like a slow beat because we didn't have like a euphoric bull market blow off top. So I feel like it will be a slow bleed until you finally get that capitulation where people finally give up, and it's like they have to people are forced to sell, forced liquidations, whatever. It could not be the case, but I feel like we haven't gotten that really bad capitulation where it's like, this is it. This is like, it's rolling over here. Like, so, and we might not have it. It might just be lower highs. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. It just might be that.
Just bounce up and down a little bit. I mean, yeah, when you look at the monthly, it does look like we got probably a little bit more room down to go. And I think a lot of us we've been saying that sub 50,000, that mark, that just it looks too good to be true. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not the case. It looks juicy, very juicy. And those wicks that we saw back in 2024, it'd be great to go back and just live the prophecy of what was once a wick becomes a candlestick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think look, I'll show you what I did notice like on the trends. Like I was trying to figure out like just similarities. Again, don't think it's going to do exactly the same thing, but it's just interesting to note the similarities. So on the way up, so we'll go from 2017 when we start to go into a bull market. Bitcoin consolidated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before it hit its first top. Like this was a double top in 2021. Most people say that the actual top was here, and you can see in the RSI that was the top, and the second top was like that. We were already trending down. So it consolidated 5 times along the way up, and then it also you can see when we came down that we also consolidated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycle bottom, right? I'm not saying it's going to be exactly the same, but it was interesting to note the similarity here. Same thing here. When we started a bull run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top, right? So do we have 5 or 4 or something similar on the way down? We consolidated 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and now we're making our 4th one. And then we have another leg down. In my opinion, do we bottom into do we have just a 4th one and that's it? We get into the 40s, maybe high 40s, and that's your cycle bottom. Do we have a wick down to the 30s, like high 30s, mid 30s? Possible. Anywhere between 36,000 and 47,000, I would say could be your bottom.
I like that.
And that makes sense. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think 60K is the bottom, just because if you're going to close the candle on that weekly 200-day moving average, I don't see why the next week wouldn't be bearish. Or sorry, the next month.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we'll see how it goes. Again, I could be totally wrong. It's all speculation, but this is based on historical knowledge, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it's going to be similar. And just understanding the similarities and the seasonality, you're not going to time the bottom or the top, but it's going to help you to get a little bit better, right? A little better entry, and anything better than what you did before is, when it goes to the upside, that's a lot more compounding returns, in the future. So just get a little bit better at doing it, understand this. Like, some people don't even know about this. Some people invest and don't have any idea about cycles, and you're just buying tops all the damn time. And they complain, I keep buying a damn top. This thing sucks. I'm not investing anymore. You know how many people I've talked to where like, oh yeah, like, do you invest your money? Oh yeah, I did some investing back in the day. It went down. I don't want to do that ever again. Like, what are you gonna do when you stop working? Like, where do you get your money from when you stop working? Like, you're not thinking about that. Like, that's crazy. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts how people just give up like that. Like, so you failed. So what? Try again.
Try again.
Fuck. Yeah, sorry.
What is it?
That grinds my gears.
Before I want to talk at some point about SpaceX. What do you think about that?
Oh yes, I have it. On my news clips here, I have it. SpaceX is definitely one of the talking points.
Oh, perfect.
All right, so let's just jump in now. We'll come back to Bitcoin. Let's go SpaceX. SpaceX faces pressures, short seller targets SPX. Dude, SpaceX. Was this the top of the market? Was this the euphoric top? Was this it? Was this peak stock market top? Like, I think so. I didn't touch it. I was not touching that with a 10-foot pole. As much as I like Elon, I was not touching that.
I've shorted it a few times on BitUnex for sure.
Why am I getting so
I like this thing probably before I would, like, I talked to my mom about this, about buying some, and I've done a lot of research into this, and if you look at what's going to happen in August, there's going to be a lot of sell pressure that happens in August. 20% of the vested stock is sellable at that point. If the stock is like at 175, then they get an additional 10% to sell, and then on August 21st, there's another 7% that gets unlocked. So I'm sub $100, in my opinion, is what we need to if you want to hold this thing long term, because in long term it's going to be a fantastic hold. I mean, SpaceX is in this to win this. I think we all can agree.
Long term it's going to be good, but I just think it was like the end of the market, just
way overvalued. Yeah, so sub I mean 70 to $100, that to me is like the DCA territory.
Let's see if we pull out of this huge falling wedge. So falling wedges break to the upside 68% of the time. Doesn't mean they're going to hit the target. Just means they break to the upside. They could totally roll over after that. And I've seen it. I've seen them pop off. I was like, oh shit, falling wedge is breaking out, and then instantly roll over.
Yeah.
So we did break out to the upside. We're kind of going sideways. So I want to see this get above the smooth moving average and start, going up and pulling that smooth moving average up with it. But right now we're below it. So do we come back down and retest the top of this trend line? Possibly. Long term, this could go back up to 216. I just don't see it. The stock market has been at all-time highs and overheated all year, like last year into this year. And it has to go down at some point. It's gonna go down. We're gonna have a down period. This is how investors recompound their growth for the next cycle. There's a business cycle, right? It's gonna end. And typically, oil historically has been, when oil starts to rally, that's the start of the end of the business cycle. Now, oil has calmed down because the war has we've come to a ceasefire. If oil's done, is the business cycle coming to its conclusion? And if that's the case, you're probably going to see a broader correction in the stock market, and SpaceX is not going to survive that. It's going to go down as well, which kind of you're seeing. It's going to find its bottom, and then that would, if you can find that generational bottom, that's good to get in. If you look at a comparison, for example, let's look at Meta. Let's look at Facebook. when Meta launched, it initially went up and then dumped. Let me go to the monthly chart here. So yeah, so when it launched, it went down. And if you found that bottom, so it started up here and went down. If you find whenever it found that bottom, it never went back to that price. Like that was it. Like you're golden. If you got that dump, even if you got up here at $24 back in 2013, like you're off to the races. But you have to understand what you're buying, right? No, not many people would have understood what the hell Meta was back in the day, or Facebook back in the day, and how valuable it was going to become, because they are not what they were when they started. They are a totally different kind of company now than when they came out. It was a social media platform. It's so much more than a social media platform now.
I think that was always the argument, right? Like the one thing that drove Zuckerberg crazy is that he didn't have the the device, the product. Like, he was just the platform, or the little bit of software on somebody else's device. And I think that's what drove him crazy, and like why they had to develop the Oculus and the the glasses and all that stuff. So now they can control a device, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Like, again, companies have to pivot, change, and whatever. Like, we know what SpaceX is. Like, we know Elon Musk's mission is to get to the moon. He has a revenue stream, which is Starlink. Starlink is. I'm now a Starlink user.
Yes, let's go. How do you like it?
I can't believe how amazing this thing is. I'm not gonna
Really?
lie. I didn't. So up at my trailer, we're surrounded by trees, and there's like no cell phone data. Like, my download speed was like half a megabyte if I was lucky. So I didn't get Starlink for years, because I'm like, it's probably not going to be that good. There's so many trees, and I read that it doesn't work with trees and stuff like that. But I watched a couple of YouTube videos recently, and some guy in a forest that has worse situation than me was pretty good. So I set it up. I said, fuck it, I'll try it. I set it up, tried it. Worst case scenario, I return it, and then I can cancel the subscription. I set up, it's amazing. I get 100 megabytes per second download. I was expecting like five or 10, just enough to like surf the internet, maybe do a couple of messages. Nope, it's perfect. I get anywhere between like 40 and like 100 megabytes per second, depending on which way the wind's blowing. And it's literally pointed at a tree. So I don't know how they do it, but it's quite amazing. I guess as he's put more satellites out, it just continued to get better and better. It's amazing how this thing works. And I love, this is one thing, I drive a Tesla, and I have the Starlink, and you just start to notice like the UI, the apps for these things make life so much easier. Like the Tesla app for my car, so simple. It was kind of like the iPhone. When the iPhone came out, it was very, very simple to use. You have an Android phone, much harder UI to use, much more of a learning curve. My grandpa was using like an iPad, right? Like, it's that simple and easy to use. And it's the same thing with Elon Musk's products. Like, they're that simple. Like, it's so easy to use.
That's awesome. Curtis has got a Starlink, he said.
Nice. Do you have the new generation? I have like the new one. It's a big rectangle. Some of the old ones had like heaters in there for like if you had snow. It's pretty cool, man. And the original one, I think, like would actually like move. It would like find the satellite and move.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. I just picked up the newest version, which they had, and it's nice. Like, it's to have internet up there. I was literally working on the CD doing the oil change, and I had I had the World Cup playing. I was like, oh, this is so amazing. I can do this now. Like, I've been going up for like 20 years, and it's tough, especially like being a content creator. You want to always try to put content out like at least one post a day. But I feel like my engagement would like drop off on weekends, because I would like disappear basically and come back on Monday, right? So it's nice to have that consistency across the board and not sacrifice family time and all that kind of stuff too, right?
Absolutely. All right. Actually, I'm looking. Looks like Canada lost to Switzerland today.
They did. I that was gonna happen. Like, Switzerland is just a better team. Like, they've had way more experience in the markets. In the markets in World Cup stage than Canada, right? But Canada played well. I have to admit that last 15 minutes, like they had a lot of chances on goal. I was very surprised. I did not expect anything out of Canada this thing. My team's Portugal, man. Like, my team's Portugal. So I did not expect anything out of Canada, and watching them play is like really good, really, really good. So hey, we'll see what happens. I think they're going to face Korea in the knockout round. So we'll see how they do against the Koreans.
There you go. Oh, you crushed Qatar 6-0. Looks
that
like
was
the
a good-
U.S. is going to be playing tomorrow. Who are they playing? Where is that? Where did that go?
Dude, I just opened my Bitcoin chart on the monthly, and I didn't realize I did done some previous work, and this is actually playing out. So this is the monthly. I have a head and shoulders on the monthly.
Oh, nice, dude.
I totally forgot about this.
Where do you have that stopping?
Oof, that's your. Oh, sorry, this is dominance, Bitcoin dominance. I was like, what? This is so perfect. Bitcoin dominance looks like it's going to drop off a cliff. So that tells me, again, same idea though. Bitcoin's going to dump. Why? Because money's moving to stable coins. If altcoin dominance is not looking like it's going to go up, which I went through last week, it's like I have Tether dominance looking like it's going to pump up, and I have altcoins don't look bullish either. Bitcoin dominance dropping, which tells me stable coin dominance will rise up, which tells me money's going to flow out of Bitcoin, and that's going to drop down to 51%. Let me take a look at the Tether dominance. This is another thing. So I don't know if I think I showed you this one before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. That's how markets work, right? And this is Tether dominance. Tether dominance has started a bull run. It's starting a move, continued moves to the upside until we top out. And the bottom, like you had your all-time highs here, and then you found your bottom. This is your bear market here for Tether dominance, which would have been 2023, 2024, 2025, which is your 4-year cycle, and then you're popping off to a new all-time high. And it's moving its way up. Like let me go back to the weekly here. I had my target here at 10.4%, and we broke out of my falling wedge, and we're making our way up there. So
you would consider Tether dominance going up is technically not a good thing for our portfolios, right?
No, that means like it's all understanding where money is flowing to, the velocity of money, where it's going. Now, if Bitcoin's dumping and Tether dominance is not pumping, then money's got to be going somewhere else, right? So that's why we look to altcoins. Is it rotating into altcoins? So we have to look at all these things in confluence to see where the money's going, because you can't just look at one without the others. So I think it's total 3, if I'm not mistaken, which excludes total 3, excluding BTC and ETH, right? Mm-hmm. So total 3 tells me we're just dumping. Like we made a bear flag, and we're continuing the leg down, right? Like you have
others is everything outside of the top 10, right?
I believe so. I'll check that after. So we had a consolidation, leg down, consolidation, leg down. So this hasn't stopped yet. This is definitely coming to the weekly 200-day moving average. I don't see how it's not at this point. So all coins are dumping, Bitcoin's dumping, and Tether dominance is going up. It's only one way.
We're in a bear market.
That means more money will flow to tethered stable coins, which means we're going to still have some more downside to this market until you start to see the flip, the change of the trend. And the trend right now for Tether dominance is an uptrend until we make a topping pattern, which we'll stop, and we'll go sideways. We'll consolidate sideways before we have that dump. Let me look at others. Total market cap is top 10. Same idea. See, bear flag, right? And then
like we're doing a cup and handle here too. Essentially.
Yeah. The only thing is like we're kind of lower than the cup on the falling.
It's like it started to, and then it broke down.
Yeah. Like honestly, it probably looked like more of a cup and handle on a smaller time frame. Let me take a look at like the 3-day cup and handle, and then dump. Yeah, roll over. Yeah, see, like that would be like, you cup and you have your handle, but then it rolls over. So yeah, it could have been, and then it just kept going down. So we've lost that we're below the smooth moving average, right? And we're below the 200-day moving average, so you're more likely to have the shorts pay off than the longs. And you see the stochastic, it still's got room to move to the downside before we flatline, right? Before we get down to here. And same with the R side. R side is pointing down and making its way down. So I still see everything is pointing in the same direction for me. It's pointing to like my thesis where we're still going to go down. Like it's, we haven't found a bottom for this market yet. So be wary. Now we can come up a
short.
bit.
Keep your shorts in, baby.
Yeah, like what I'm looking for, like personally for my next trade, is I'm waiting for Bitcoin to start actually to trickle up a little bit now. I want to find because I believe it's going to make a lower high, maybe it gets back to 62, 63, and that's where you start to look for another short. And like I don't think we see 67K again. Like I just don't. I could be wrong.
We can't create a new high, right? And then that defeats. Then that puts us in a whole new structure, and then we got to start talking something different. You're right.
Exactly. So like if you look at the daily, like my trade was the daily head and shoulders. That's why I shorted. I shorted at the shoulder, and we got the move down. Right now, if it was the reverse, we'd have to get back into this pattern here. So you would see something like this, get back in, and then mind you, this could still be a bear flag. Like we can get back into the pattern and still make a bear flag, which you would have your target still going down to 51K. Like, so we're not out of the woods.
Do you think we could stay? Do you think that we could stay in this bear flag until we get a little bit closer to the Q4? And then, because I'm of the same of the beliefs, I know you are, like you said earlier, Ben Cowan, we know, is the same. He said sometime, I think October to December, in obviously, or October, November, somewhere in that time frame is when he predicts the bottom. Like I just
yeah.
Do we just go sideways the rest of the year? Really, just sideways and up before we make our next leg down, and then that's ultimately the move.
I'm feeling like we're gonna, by July, we'll have, like, either we have the bottom in June, or we continue into July and find a bottom somewhere in July. Then we might go up and sideways for the summer. I really think the summer's going to be sideways. A lot of people just don't trade. A lot of people are gone. People are gone with their families. Kids will be out of school. Like in Canada, kids will be out of school soon here. People are just not going to be focused on the markets the way they usually are. It's like, if you look back to most summers, like it's not as volatile as other markets. As other times of the year. Let me go back to my bigger chart here.
You'll sell in May and walk away.
That was the play, man. That was it. So let's take a look. Let's go look at the monthlies so we can look at the summer months. So we have, let's just compare bear markets. So 2017, so we have, May, and then you had June, July, August, September. So it was just basically down.
Yep.
It would just trickle down. So you had a pump, again, you had a pump up in July, and then that was it. Which makes sense. It makes sense to me that you could find a bottom in June and then have a rally in July, make your macro lower high, and then back down you go for August and September. That's kind of where my mind's going with that. It doesn't have to happen. I'm just looking at history and just trying to formulate something that's similar. Same thing in 2021. March, April, so May and June we found a bottom. Again, July back up, and then we kind of trickled down, had a little bit of a pump in October, and then find a bottom in November, December. So that's kind of, it's happened twice before. Is this time different? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Again, we'll see it in the charts because you're going to see that Tether dominance swing. You're going to see, Bitcoin dominance swing. You're going to see it happen and start to. It doesn't just all of a sudden, boom, you're in a new trend. The bottoming pattern will happen, and then you'll reverse trend. Right. So we'll see it first, because the more you're in the charts, the more opportunity you're going to see. So the more you're here with us every week on Wednesdays at 9 p.m., you're going to get you're going to be the first one to know when we've bottomed, or when we've likely bottomed, or when it's a good time to get in. Right? I'm targeting when we start getting to like the 50s, like I'm talking about 57 and lower. I'm buying Bitcoin, like aggressively buying Bitcoin. I don't care if we go down to 30K. I'll hold for a 20-30% dip.
Right.
I am buying Bitcoin aggressively. I'm starting a huge I'm still dollar cost averaging, but like I'm gonna really up that big time. So I would that's what I'm looking for, because like a 20% dip is nothing. Like, come on, we've been there. We've
Yeah,
done it.
I mean, because the upside at that point, like it's not going to go much lower. Like the upside potential is so great at that point.
Yeah, and if we do find a bottom this year, then like if I'm buying, say we get to 55K by August, so what? I gotta wait till December before we start reverting course potentially. I don't care. I can hold up. I can be in the red for a couple months because I know where this asset is going,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
at least you don't have to, like in 2022, I timed things wrong. I bought my miners at the wrong time. I bought Bitcoin at the wrong time. I didn't but you get a little bit better, and I'm hoping to do it better this time. And so I've made the mistakes. We could show others like from our mistakes and our past mistakes, and they get the shortcut, right? They get the if they follow the advice.
TLDR.
Yeah, that's why you read books. You read books from successful people because they've already lived the life. You're shortcutting. You're learning from their past experiences and what not to do and what to do and how to think, instead of you having to figure it out for yourself.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. You say that. I actually got a new audiobook today, Atomic Habits. I don't know if you've listened to it or read it.
I have heard of Atomic. I haven't finished it. I have my Audible. I have it on there too. But yeah, that's the one with what's that guy? The Navy SEAL, the guy that does a lot of running. What the heck is his name now?
I don't know yet. All I know is so far, like there is such a heavy emphasis, and think about what like with the Web3 Breakfast show that we talked to. It's just so funny. I got like just hooked into this book immediately because he's talking about 1% better, and then he's talking about not setting goals. He's talking about setting systems instead of goals, because that's ultimately how you meet your goals. I'm like, who this fucking guy is my guy, dude. This is my spirit animal. Like I talked about all this stuff on the show without ever I didn't even know this book existed. Like I can't wait to get through it.
I remember his name. It's David Goggins.
Goggins. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, no, great. One of the best books out there for that kind of stuff. And it's true. Like you do have to set systems. Well, a structure. How the hell are you going to do anything? Right? Like you need a structure to be successful. You need accountability. Like for me, like I got so much stuff going on. Like I'm getting older. I can't remember stuff. I gotta have a system. I gotta have, I know my brain, so I know I will forget something. So I will instantly, when I'm like, I gotta remember this, I go to my phone and say, hey, put an alert for this time with this reminder with on this date, and set an alarm for it, and have this alarm go off like twice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I won't remember it if I just go back, if I don't do it now. If I don't do it now, I'll forget about it. Yep. And you have to like find systems that work for you, something like that. Like that's a system for me to remember things, because I know that like I'll get sidetracked and I'll totally forget because I have like I don't know, maybe I'm getting Alzheimer's. I don't know.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with you with that early onset Alzheimer's.
Thank God for AI, man. AI's been like the best. Like I use AI for everything, to like research stuff, to find answers to things, and to create like even PDFs. I created like for a deal I was doing. I for one my other podcast, like create a structure, and I just had a conversation with it back and forth of like an ownership structure of like who wants the contract and all stuff like that, or who wants the podcast, and this is what I want to put into it, blah blah blah. Okay, say great. We finally, but after a bunch of back and forth, we came to a final product. I said, put into a PDF for me. Boom, ChatGPT made a PDF. I didn't even know to do that. And boom, like I made an entire legal document back and forth with ChatGPT. It saved me so much time because I don't know this stuff. Right,
dude. But, so I like with looking for jobs and stuff, I've been having ChatGPT like just kind of like reword my resume. Like I've created my resume, but now we can like tailor it specifically, or like even like it creates this little section in the resume like how my experience would like is relevant to this particular job. So like, oh dude, it's so fantastic. And then it just puts it in like a perfect format in PDF, and you just like upload that shit right away. Like
it's great. Like the way I think in my head, sometimes I just don't know how to put it into words. as good. So
Yeah.
ChatGPT is like it can word it the way I'm thinking instead of the way I'm speaking.
Sometimes, like, yeah, I'm with you. Sometimes I got to be like, yo, dog, talk like a human. Like, quit talking like that. Like, you know, sometimes you can just tell when this thing just gets a little too body. You're like, brother,
Oh my god, yeah.
chill out.
It's cool. Like my ChatGPT, I've really noticed it learning from me, and going back to like previous conversations. So like it knows, like, because I have a whole chat that's dedicated to making YouTube descriptions for our podcast or and my other and the adoption pod, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing another episode of Trade Daddies. This is what I want to talk about. Create me a title. Create me a description, and it knows, yeah, we know based on your previous things, like it goes back and it explains like where it's pulling this information from and making these titles like it's great. Like I don't know how to make YouTube titles, and it does. So it's like it literally is like having another employee, just having someone.
Dude,
When
I'm telling you, dude, it's crazy. Going off of getting transcripts from shows
oh my
that like
goodness.
we are on talking about things with like the setups and like the 21 with the 200 day and all that stuff. Like I've used like the structure of the things that we've talked about to build like the indicator. Like I can't wait to show you this. Like
It's awesome.
soon I will. But like, I mean, like this thing, it's crazy just because like, ChatGPT can like do the code. Like I'm not a fucking encoder. I'm not a developer. But I'm telling you what, dude, like creating an indicator that works is amazing.
That's actually one thing I want to do. I don't know, maybe you want to do this with me. I want to make an app, a phone app, like a directory of how to use crypto. I was like, I had the idea in my head. It's like, what the hell is Bitcoin? Click what is Bitcoin? Boom, brings a drop down menu of maybe videos or a description, or I can just pull from AI and then have a chatbot integrated in it where you can just talk to it and be like, hey, what the hell is this Bitcoin thing? And like, I want to have an education platform because I really think the way you get more people to get more mass adoption is you got to get people in and you got to meet them where they're at. And I think when you like, I know from my personal experience, I first talk about crypto and this and that. It's so overwhelming. Like there's just so much knowledge to get to. And there's not enough, I think, things out there to get people into investing. It's not even just Bitcoin, just investing in general. Because people just have a bad relationship with money. it's honestly terrible, and I think if we can do something to help that, it'd be great.
Yeah, that would be. I really wish that they taught financial literacy and how to be better with money and all that stuff in school, but because they don't, I think it's fantastic that there's an opportunity and a resource for like you to put something together for people. Good for you. I'm excited to see that.
It's you know what it is when you start making money and you start getting a little bit of wealth and investing in something and your investments are doing well, you get a little bit of confidence. You feel good about yourself, right? And then you start to think about the future. When you're figuring out, just focusing on where's my next, how am I going to pay my next bill? How am I going to feed my family and stuff like that? Like you don't get to think about, you can only think about the short term. But when you start to get out of that and get away from the fight or flight, you start thinking about the future now. And like that's where the sauce is at. When you start having hope, which I think Bitcoin and crypto gives people, is you get that hope and you start planning for the future. And when you plan for the future, the universe just like guides you there. Once you want something and you put your sights on it, the universe conspires to get you there.
Words are spells. What you state, you create, and you can manifest your destiny. I'm a firm believer of that kind of stuff. I even just as something as simple as, dude, we got some tickets to go to the Braves game on Father's Day, and we were right up along the wall in left field, and I had said to Curtis, my guy in the building. I had said to my daughter about getting a baseball. I said, be careful. Like we brought our gloves, like, get ready, catch it. But we talked about it. And I, at some point I spoke it into existence. And I said, baby, I am going to catch you a baseball at this game. And by the fourth inning, we had a baseball. I'd caught a baseball for her. It's like, like I'm a firm believer of what you state, you create. And
that's crazy.
Right?
You're the Jumbotron. This is the one where you're holding a beer and you catch it.
No, thank goodness.
I saw the one where the dad was holding his daughter and he catches the ball. I was like, ah.
Dude, that one. See, that's crazy because like if you watch that, there is a moment in time where that guy he's got the beer and he's holding the baby. He lets go of the baby, gets the ball, and gets the baby again. Like dude,
in free fall. Yes.
He's like, I got 2 seconds. Like one's
guys,
right back to the baby.
Guys,
wow,
an OG getting that, man. So we gotta talk about this MicroStrategy and STRC stretch off the peg, down quite bad actually. Like, do we think this is going to be a failure, or do you think everyone's going to be criticizing it, then all of a sudden Bitcoin goes back up? And
dude, if
I told you.
I'm telling you, man. I've been on the record. Sailor was not a good thing for Bitcoin. If it ends up being a black swan event, that is a terrible event for Bitcoin. I mean, he owns what, 10%?
No, not 10%. He owns like almost 4%, I think, now at this point.
Okay. He wants to have 1 million by the end of the year, right?
I believe so. He's pretty close, 800 something thousand. I don't think he's gonna sell like all that Bitcoin. It's not. I don't think it's because if you just think of the waiting game. Think of his average buy price. When you go to you're gonna struggle this year, but by 2027, like you should be going up. Like it's gonna get back up to prices where you're just like you'll never see his average buy price again. Like wasn't it like 30 something thousand? Let me see what Michael Saylor's average buy price is.
I think 60 something.
Or average Bitcoin buy price. So his average buy price is 75,651. Like I don't think it's like. I think by 2027, maybe mid 2027, you'll probably be back up there again.
We're so far past that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and at some point, like it's gonna outpace his average buy price. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem for strategy in general. Now, this whole stretch thing, I don't like the idea, and from my personal experience, chasing yield is not good. I don't like chasing yield. I almost lost a lot of money when it came to the FTX fallout because I feel like chasing yield is how people hook you because it's human psychology. People always want to get return on their assets and they just want that yield. I want passive income. I want easy. So why not? Because it's just how retail is going to jump in. Oh my God, 11%. Holy cow. I don't have to do nothing. Of course. But investing is hard. Becoming wealthy is hard. And chasing yield is how you get burned. Chasing high yield like that, like I wouldn't say chasing yield, but like realistic yield that's
it puts you in a vulnerable position for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, real sustainable yield is probably more around the 3 to 5%. Like that's for any stock, like that's sustainable. And you got to look at how they're getting the money. Like how are these guys funding this dividend? Like if they have to just sell Bitcoin, then that's going to cause the Bitcoin to go down. And if Bitcoin continues to go down, then you have to sell more Bitcoin to be able to fund the dividend. You know what I mean? Like it's a snowball effect.
So yeah, it seems like a chicken and an egg thing. I see Dabatola, my guy, leaving a message on the X. How did you put a message on the X?
Is it just me?
No, because mine said the same thing. It's not live. But I see he put a message in there. I gotta check this out.
Let me refresh. Yeah, it says I'm not live. That's weird. He's got special powers. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen with Stretch, but look at this chart, man. It's just gross. It is just dumped. Mind you, it's new. It's only been out for like less than just under a year now, right? When did it come out? It came out July 2025. So yeah, just basically a year. There's a live chat and
no, I get that. Like on the phone, you can do it, no problem. On both of my my computer and your computer, you're saying on your computer, right, Mike?
Yeah. Also, maybe it's a PC.
Yeah, it said the same thing. Like the chat, like in the window where you would type the chat message, it just says is not live. Well,
Yeah, I had that, and I had that yesterday. Oh, that's so weird. When I go on my phone, it doesn't even
but it
show
works
that
on the
I'm live.
phone. No
Okay.
problem on the phone. Interesting.
Yeah, it
And
just works on the phone.
sure
Weird.
they're yeah. I did the same thing, Scott. So like I threw a little chat in on the mobile. It works just fine.
Thanks, Elon.
No, dude, that's a Nikita thing, or that's definitely a Nikita thing.
Oh yeah, true.
He's to blame now. We blame him for everything.
Yeah, I'm on PC and saying that. Yeah, Curtis is on PC and it's not live. It's okay. We need to boost our YouTubes anyways, right?
Join the tubes. Get out of tubes. Come on, get out of tubes.
We'll see what stress is. A part of me is almost like, do I want to put some in if it does go back to the peg? Getting in at 11% interest. But I'm like,
what is that return to come back up there? Even if just like they come up to one of those little wick spots.
If it gets back to the peg at 100, because it's supposed to stay at 100. It's a pegged asset. So that would be a 23% increase from here. I believe it will. Don't get me wrong. Like, I believe it will. I think it's going to coincide with the Bitcoin getting back above. Like, we're in a bear market. Like, for Bitcoin, I don't know. I find it interesting launching products for Bitcoin that are tied to Bitcoin when Bitcoin is in a macro downtrend. Like, I feel like, why not launch it when we've had a cycle bottom and momentum starts to come back? But I don't know. That's just me. I'm not going to pretend to be anywhere near as smart as Michael Saylor, but I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I personally would just buy the Bitcoin. Like, I don't know why we need all these other products. Just buy the damn thing yourself. But maybe companies can't do that, and that's maybe what it is. Maybe it's because corporations and companies are more easy. It's easier to buy an ETF like this for yield than to actually hold Bitcoin on your balance sheet. And maybe that's what it is. I saw a video from
this is just strategy. This is just a strategy stock you're looking at, right?
This is Stretch. This is their new product, which is a yield product. This isn't strategy. This is their Stretch ETF.
What is the ticker for it?
STRC.
STRC.
So I watched a video from Mark Moss, and what he was doing is using Stretch for creditors, because Bitcoin is not considered an asset across the board where you can just borrow against, right? And creditors don't know how to value it. So what he did, he says, I'm going to sell Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to pay this dividend. So I think he's using it as a way to show the creditors that, like, hey, I can pay this dividend by selling the Bitcoin. It's easy, it's liquid, it's fast, and I think it may, from what Mark Moss was saying, don't take my word for it. I don't know. He was legit.
I like Mark.
I like Mark too. I think I love how well he explains things, and he was basically saying that it was just to show the creditors, and the creditors liked it, well. So maybe this is him just being a pioneer in the market and showing how you, like, different ways and how you can use Bitcoin. And from that point of view, it makes total sense.
Right.
He is the trendsetter, and then showing what corporations can do, and they can take his playbook and do the same thing in their companies or implement something that he's doing. So all in all, just try using Bitcoin to do different things, whether you agree with it or not, is good for adoption, because again, different strokes for different folks. Everyone's can use Bitcoin and crypto for different things, and it doesn't have to be what you like or what you think it should be used for, but it's for everybody.
I love that. I believe it.
So chat, let me know if there's a coin that you want us to look at. We'll pull it up on the chart. We'll do a little bit of analysis.
Let's look at come on, let's look at some of the classics, some of the staples. Look at Solana first.
Solana, look at that. Solana's looking pretty juicy. I know, $67, pretty nice.
Dude, 6, 7. I love that. A while back, I had been looking at this, and this is let me pull it up on my chart just so that I got it too. at least to the daily. Now we already blew through one target zone, which was the February scam wick that got us at $67. We're at 67.86 right now. We've actually slipped down to $60. But things that I'm looking at, man, tell me what you're thinking. Like sub $50 for sure.
Yeah, I just kind of, it's so funny when you start looking at Bitcoin, you start seeing all the similarities in the other charts, and we're consolidating. We haven't broken down. We haven't made another leg down yet. But we are in this bearish pattern here, and that's like a double topper. That's an M pattern. If that's an M right there.
Yep. Yep.
So if that's the case, and your neckline is your neckline's here. So you're right at the bottom of the channel here. So you want to see either you bounce off the bottom of the channel and continue in this consolidation, or you're just gonna continue down and break to the downside. The target of this is $51. I'm looking at the daily stochastic, again, topped out, rolling over, coming down. Our size should follow. Let's take a look at the weekly. Just weekly still coming down. Our size getting near the bottom, but still room to move down. So we're looking for, like, for me, Bitcoin was the daily that broke down. So we'll see if it's the daily here that breaks down. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour looks like it could have a bounce. Maybe low stochastics coming up. Same with the RSI. So do we just continue and keep getting rejected by the 200-day moving average? This could even be like an inverted head and shoulders. I'm just seeing this now. So Solana here, you could have like a shoulder, head, shoulder.
Yeah.
And that would kind of make it seem, if we do have that shoulder and we pump up, that could be your 200-day moving average.
Continuation, yeah. Long that sucker. Get your longs ready. Solana longs.
Yeah, like if you're bullish on it, I would long it to the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour, right? And then as long as the other time frames, but then you have the 1 hour that looks like it's topping out here. So again, I would be wary. I would start with the 1 minute. Like, again, just like the model I showed you all the time. Start with the 1 minute. If the 1 minute 200 we get above the 200 and we hit the smooth moving average and the white line here and we get above and the model shows, then you can move up to the 5 minute. And then if the 5 minute gets above here, then you look at the 15 minute and then you start following that trend. So if you're going to scalp it, you would start with the 1 minute, and then an entry on the 5 minute would be safer than a 1 minute. If we get the cross, so you want this smooth moving average to go do this, and then you get in here when we bounce off the 200 on the upside above it, right? So that's what you would be looking for if you're going to long. I wouldn't jump in yet. So start with your small time frames, work your way up until you feel comfortable on the trend actually going with you. But all in all, like, again, we're still in a downtrend, so don't expect this to be, oh my God, we've bottomed. No.
I think there's a long ways to go. All right, we want, let's see, we got to go Canton. Curtis wants Canton, and then Boomer Crypto Lady wants to see some XRP.
Bro.
Throw them up. If you want to build it.
I took a shower after work, but I was wearing XRP socks today.
Nice.
They were my last pair. This is how you know I've run out of socks if I'm wearing XRP socks.
It's laundry day.
Literally, that's what I did when I came home. All right, let's look at Canton. USDT. Canton. I have never looked at this coin before. Let's take a look. Let's look at the weekly, and then we'll work our way down. Is this pretty new?
Yeah.
Okay. So interesting. We had a dump, came back up. Now we're just kind of going sideways. So not a whole lot to see on the weekly here. It just looks like sideways consolidation. Can we say this is a big ascending triangle maybe?
the whole thing. Let me see. Were there other?
It could be an ascending triangle. You know, the measured move. Again, don't quote me on this because you know we're the whole crypto. I showed you guys the altcoin market cap and it doesn't look good. That could do something like that. I don't believe it would. Let's look at the small time frames. Let's look at the daily. Okay, so we're above the daily 200-day moving average, which is nice. We just started. Like this is pretty new, so this doesn't have a whole lot of data, but we are above the 200-day moving average. So what you would like if you're going to look for a long here would be this 200-day moving average curling back up. So right now, price action is below the white line, the smooth moving average. We want it to be above, right? So you want, if you're following a trend, you want to get in when the price is above it and it follows it, sticks with it on the way up. When we get below it is when we change, right? So like if I got in here, for example, for a long, my exit probably would have been here because we've lost it and I would exit there. Now we're above it, and so either the price continues to go down and the smooth moving average continues to do this and it bounces off the 200-day moving average. Like that's kind of what you would like to see if you would look for an entry. You get on the bounce. So very possible.
This is the daily, right? Yeah, okay.
This is the daily. You got low
very tradable. This looks very tradable.
Absolutely, yeah. You have low stochastics. The MACD is, you know, moving, going to start to flip into the green soon. I don't know how big of a move you're going to have, but it does look like it's just kind of come up and bounce. We did have a huge wick here. This is indices and doji, so we got to see if the market, we have follow through. So we want this price action to get above this white line here and start to make its, you know, move up. So again, follow it with the 1 minute time frame. Right, you want to see this is the model here. The model is 221 crossing the 200, price action coming back. See the bounce? I just told you the bounce off the 200. The white line bounces off. Like mind you, price action came below it, but the bounce, the moving average bounced off the 200. That's what you want to see, right? And then the 5 minute, you'd want to see the same thing too. Again, my indicator even flashed here.
It's ripping right now, huh?
Yeah, on the small time frames, yes. This is a 5 minute. So this could be like, you know, bull flake potentially here with the big candle up, and we could have follow through. So you want to see if we take this high out. So the 5 minute, the 1 minute look good. The 15 minute, we're getting there. We're getting there. So the next thing you would want to see is the 15 minute, the 21-day moving average cross the 200 and then come back and touch. So it's looking like it could happen. Like we're moving as we're speaking. It's pumping up. So.
I'm thinking someone's watching this show that's got some muscle and they're loving what they're seeing and they just went buy over on L Bank.
Yeah, they became NSYNC and they went bye.
Yeah. bye.
Let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour, we're still, so yeah, maybe the 1 hour. So you have the 1 hour above the 21-day moving average, making its way back up. Maybe we start making a move up to the 200-day moving average in the 1 hour. We'll see. The RSI is curving up, so I would say we could have something like this. See, the stochastic came down and is curving up again. It could be something like this, where you come down, you curve up, make another high hump, and then you roll over, right? So it could pop up again and then come back down later. All in all, it looks like we have a little bit of a, you know, some momentum to the upside for Canton. So yeah, that's what I see on the smaller time frames, at least. So if you're looking to scalp, that's what you're looking for. That's the model you're looking for. Is that 21 crossing the 200 and then, you know, sticking with that white line, a smooth moving average until it crosses below. And then the other one was XRP.
If you were in the army, shot him out.
Where the hell is my XRP chart? Did I take it out? I think I may have taken it off my watch list. Let me pull it up. Let's take a look at XRP. All right, so we'll go on to the weekly. Always start with the weekly and then make our way down. Okay, weekly, same idea as Bitcoin. We're getting below that 200-day moving average. Now, my model is a 21-day crossing the 200. Now I'm going to flip this chart upside down. Sorry. I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm pressing Alt R. It's Alt I. So that model looks like it's going to flash. So if I look at XRP flipped upside down, I can clearly see a double bottom that's playing out. And then the 200, the 21 is about to cross the 200 here and, start ripping, which telling me, because we're flipped upside down, that, XRP is going to come down. I would look for XRP to come revisit this. And that's anywhere between 65 to 50 cents and lower, right?
Oof, man, I thought we were done with that on XRP.
Yeah, so and that was like obvious for me. Like that's very obvious when you look at it that way, and you can even say that's an M pattern, right? M pattern. Your neckline would be here. The 200-day moving average is basically your neckline, and then your measured move from there would be something like this.
Golly, dude. I mean, that looks terrible.
38 cents.
Jeez, for creepers, man. Just stop it right now. Quit fun, dude. Quit fun.
Hey man, I'm not here to make you happy about your bags. I'm here to call it as I see it and try to help you out. I'm not gonna be just catering to what you guys want to hear. I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear.
Let's hit some hopium. Let's hit some hopium.
Yeah. So again, it's the whole crypto market is in a downtrend. You're not gonna have one thing pop off and start a whole new bull cycle. Like you might have other coins pop off here and there, and that's just rotation of money out of Bitcoin into something else to try and get something to pump. But
right.
All in all, when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, the actual trend is still down, and losing the weekly 200-day moving average is not good. Right, it's not a good time. Like you could see here back in 2021 when you lost the 200-day moving the weekly 200-day, like look, you stayed below it for quite a while. Like this is where you found your cycle bottom, and that cycle bottom was around 28 cents. So coming back to this area, this liquidity area over here is not crazy, which still puts you in a nice trend. Nice uptrend, right?
Wow.
So this is what I would do if I'm looking at XRP and I'm looking at like where I want to buy. I would just do this every time you stop somewhere, put a line. So Alt H on your trading view. So I would use the candle bodies, not the wicks, right? Here. There you go. These are your support and resistance lines.
Set an alarm. Set an alarm on those so you get an email.
Yeah. So you break this line, you're coming to here. You break this line, you're going down here. You break this line, you go down here, and then so on and so forth, right? And then if you even want to get more technical with it, you can pull a Fibonacci. So you go from the impulse, Alt F. You pull it to the top, and there's your 786. That's usually where you would have a bounce, but I still don't see it. Again, that's on Bitcoin. I'm using the information I use on Bitcoin. I don't really trade altcoins too much. Let's take a look at the last bull market. So this is 2021. We'll look at where the impulse started for 2021. I would say probably this move right here. Yeah, you even last bull market, you lost that at 786. You went right down almost to the zero line. So if it does something similar to what it did in 2022, then you're looking at here to here. Yeah, you're looking somewhere around in this between 786 and the zero. So again, back to that liquidity. It doesn't have to go there. It could stop here.
Adios. Eo.
But yeah, it's going to go down. There's still a lot more red in this market to go. We have not bottomed. You're even safer just waiting for the for things to start popping back up until the bottom's in. Like sometimes you buy on the way up, but
when do you think, like for the most part, like we'll have to start switching our bias for you, I guess, when are you gonna switch your bias to go back into bull? Because for me, like, for many years I mean, I'm a bull. I am just a perma bull,
Yeah.
but I like didn't even like to short the market because like I was so bullish. Now like that's realized how silly that was, and you can make money off the bear market, so you might as well do that. But like, when do you think it's time to shift that mentality out of the bearish bias?
When I see it in the charts, it's not like
Okay, John Madden. Good point.
I'm trying not to see. I'm trying not to be biased. I'm just trying to follow the trend until
Okay.
again the trend is your friend until the end, right? And the trend is telling me this because all the data that I have, which I showed you the total market cap, I showed you Tether dominance, Bitcoin dominance, and they all tell a story. And the story is that we're continuing down. Short-term volatility can happen. We can have pumps. We get a month, a nice 20 10 15% move up in 1 month, but still all in all be in a downtrend and not
Right.
a bottom yet. I need to see a bottom, like so a bottom like here, like we can't even find a bottom and we went sideways for a while until we get above. And for me, it's that move above the 200-day moving average. When you get above the 200-day moving average and the 21 cross, that's your bull market. Like, right, this is what you're looking for on the weekly. That's what you're looking for. And that's been every coin, every bull market is started with getting above the weekly 200-day moving average. Like, find any coin. Like, I don't tell me a coin at random.
Zcash.
Okay, let's look at Zcash.
I just saw it on your list. That's why I said it.
Oh, I have it on my list already. That's right. There. Okay, let's look at the weekly. Oh my god, I keep doing that. So if you take a look at the weekly here, look at your bull market. Look at that. That's the move. It's when it crosses. Now, I don't have the 200-day moving average for anything.
So is it the opposite that would be triggering the bear market then when it crosses the opposite?
When it crosses below it. Oh, let me look at a better chart because that's a perpetual chart. Zcash, USDT. Let's look at like it's not Binance chart for this. OKX. I don't know if OKX has been around.
ZEC.
Oh, ZEC. There we go. So if you look at Binance, it doesn't even have it either. That's weird. The 200-day moving average starts basically January 2023. That's so weird. But yeah, that's the move. Ethereum will be the same thing. Link will be the same thing. Oh, I'm on the perpetual. Link USDT. Let's look at Coinbase. What is with these charts? I know the 200-day moving average for Link is on the weekly is well before 2025. What the heck? Let's see. I know Binance has been around forever. There we go. That's better. That's weird too. 2022. What are these guys doing with their charts? Anyhow, when you get above it in a meaningful way, you have a pump, right? Every time you get across above the weekly 200-day moving average, you usually have a nice move that follows. So that's where you got to go. For me, that's my line in the sand. That's bear market, bull market territory, and also the daily.
Very clear.
So that's where I'm going for these coins. Did anybody see any other coins? XP, I think we got everything from chat, right? Oh, Link. Somebody want to look at Link. All right, let's take a look at Link.
Stinky Linkies. Hoorah, Link Marines. Hoorah.
Okay, so we are well below the 200-day moving average for Link. I almost see like it could be starting to make like a double bottom here, like this. Right, like so that could be a possibility. Stochastic RSI moving to the downside still, RSI still moving to the downside.
Could you see how slanted? Could you do like an inverted slanted head and shoulders?
Well, this could just be an inverted head and shoulders like normally, right?
Yeah.
Right. It could do something like that. Absolutely. Still need more time for this to play out on the weekly at least. But either you get a double bottom, which would be something like this, and then your neckline's here, and then you would look for it to break the neckline, retest it, come up, and then you get above the 200-day moving average and revisit this. And if you get past that, then you get back to here, and you can see here, like, yeah, there's like a gap here. Like, see the volume here. So right now you're down here. If you can get above here, there's a gap, a nice big gap up to $13. So you can get, if you can get through this gap here,
that's the move.
You can make some, some money, nice trades. So yeah, but this is the weekly check. So every candle's a week. So you got many weeks before this makes that double.
That's I mean, look, it like doesn't turn around until you probably get to quarter four. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Like, so for example, we have this rounding for example, right? And it's slanted, right? We have it's definitely a slanted double bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna say that this is gonna see it comes out to here. We finally hit the bottom somewhere around here. It's August, September, right? And that's it. That might have been the bottom. And that's close to the time that we're talking about. Like altcoins may have bottoms because altcoins have been just beat up since for a lot longer than Bitcoin has. So that could be it for Chainlink. Maybe a wick lower. Who knows? Like, who knows where the wicks can go, right? The wicks can go much lower than this actual, double bottom.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Like, look at the double bottom here. Look at this wick here. It was still in this pattern potentially,
right? But
the wicks went lower. Like, and they can go right up. So you could have a bottom lower than what we think, and then pop off. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Again, that kind of lines up to where we're going. This could be a longer circle too, right? This could be a longer. Rounded bottoms are good, especially double rounded bottoms. They pay the bills.
But double time if it's double.
So Link is looking like it could potentially on the weekly be starting to make a bottoming pattern, and that's where you're asking me where I change my bias is when I start to see these, when I start to see bottoming patterns, consolidation, just like I showed you on the tether dominance. It's you consolidate, you manipulation, you come down, you consolidate again, and then you go up. It's distribution. So yeah, Link looks pretty good. Like it's making a bottoming pattern on the weekly. Again, there's still more downside to go, but that is the clearest that I've seen any other coin so far for a bottoming pattern. The other ones are still going down.
Get your DCAs in, because if it's on its way back up, man, it's only going to get more expensive.
Dude, $7.40 for Link. Like, just because we know like the use case of it and like where it's going and how many people have been using Links to, that we've heard about. I was buying. What did I buy? I bought in 2022. I bought Link at like $7.90. So it's a pretty good buy, like in my opinion. Like overall, like it might go down from here, but like I don't think you're going to see another 50% move from here. I could be wrong, but even so, like I out of all the altcoins, like literally every altcoin, maybe exclude Ethereum from this, Link is the one I think can do some damage in the next bull market, because everything needs to use Link to be able to communicate with the outside world.
Everything that's tokenized.
A whole lot of competition. I think SWI is the other one competing, but like even if SWI competes with it, there's only two. Is it Pith Network as well?
Yeah, it's the only. There's like one other like Oracle solution, but like everything everything's going to come back to Chainlink. Everything's Chainlink.
Yeah, again, it's a name that everybody knows, and it's been used. Like, I think next cycle is going to be coins that actually have use case that has proven to be useful and actually doing things, solving real problems, not speculation. Because I think retail is exhausted. I think retail is truly exhausted of all the rug pulls and all the bullshit in crypto, and that's kind of where my thesis is going. Where I think we start to get a pivot into Bitcoin in a real big way, because people are tired of all the altcoins dumping and going to zero, and they're not knowing what the hell's going to pump up, and then all the speculation. They say, I just want to put my money into something safe, and it's Bitcoin, and the government's on your side now.
I mean, they are well connected in there. You're very welcome, Boomer Lady, Boomer Crypto Lady. You're very welcome. We appreciate you.
I appreciate. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Another fellow Canadian.
Oh, see you in a few weeks. See you in 30 days, right? 30 days until the conference.
It's the 21st. Less than 30 days. Yeah, that's crazy. It's man, it's going by fast. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you see that Lauren is this will be her last conference, or not Lauren, Tracy is her last conference that she's going to be running for the Futurist. I had her on the adoption pod. She's awesome, man. Look, she's
awesome.
She's done a lot.
Her and Laura are so cool, man. That's such a cool thing that they've built, and it's just been, you know, for all of us to have been a part of it so many years. It's been cool.
It's one of my favorite conferences, definitely. And you know, going up there, speaking on stage was cool. It's the first time I ever spoke on stage.
Do it again, man. I'm emceeing the upstairs again, so we'll do it again.
Love it, absolutely. So link on the weekly. Still got some time to go, but you know, we'll get there day by day. Daily,
right.
Same thing.
Set your limits. Get your DCAs. I'm gonna DCA some more Link this week. That'll be my DCA.
It's not a bad buy. My wife got me into the Link, and actually, yes, like she was the one that called that, and it was a really, really good opportunity. So get on it. Well, I think we have beat this, you know, as far as we can. You know, instead of just repeating ourselves over and over, we're continuing a bear market. I showed you all the information. We kind of ran through it, what's going on. It's not the end of the world. This is the nature of things. Don't be scared about it. This is where you use your money on the side to put into the market, right? You want to be looking for these legs downs and you know, markets going down. You want to keep your finger on the pulse, because this is the time where you make the most money, is when markets are down, not when markets are up. You want to be selling into that momentum. So keep your finger on the pulse, see what's going on. Come back every week on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. so you guys can see what's going on, and then we'll get better prices. And then, you know, when Valhalla comes back, because it's just loading, we're all going to be better for it. So cheers to that. We'll see you guys next week. I appreciate everybody coming in the chat on the YouTube, because X is being stupid. I appreciate everybody, and that's it. We'll see you next week.
Smash the like. We'll see you guys tomorrow, or we'll see you next week for sure.
Next week I'll be at the cottage, so we'll see how that stream works out.
Starlink, beam me up, Scotty.
All right, later, guys.
Yeah. Another session in the books. Trade Daddies. Let's close it out right. Yeah. From the charts to the couch, we appreciate your time. Every view, every share, that support is a sign. Late night learners building wealth slow. Plant seeds today, watch the legacy grow. We don't flex hype, we invest in the grind. Teach discipline so you level your mind. If the game gave value and the message hit deep, run it back, tap like, let the algorithm speak. Trade Daddies, yeah, we here every week, dropping gems, keeping structure unique. If you vibe with the movement, help it expand. Like, share, subscribe, build the brand. Trade Daddies, yeah, we teach no cap. Real dads, real trades, real talk on the map. Yeah. No promises quick, just knowledge and reps. Risk managed tight, calculated steps. From beginners to vets, everybody can learn. Market cycle spin, patience earns. So salute to the viewers, community strong. Independent thinkers, moving along. Hit subscribe if you rock with the show. Turn alerts on, don't miss the flow. Don't miss the flow. Who keeps it real? Trade Daddies. Who builds the skill? Trade Daddies. Like it up, share it wide, subscribe and ride. Daddy time, knowledge climb. See you next week, same grind.